Did you know that any of the 12 professions can come up in the OET reading and listening paper? Watch this video where we show you how learning vocabulary relating to medicine can help you pass your exam. Let's go! Hi, I'm Jo from Specialist Language Courses. We are OET Premium Preparation Providers, which means you are in the right place for your OET. Don't forget to check out our website and see how we can help you prepare for your exam. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell so you're the first person to know every time we upload a new video. Let's go! In Listening A, you might hear a consultation with a specialist doctor. Here are some of the specialisms which might come up in the exam. Gynecologist, obstetrician, neurologist, endocrinologist, oncologist, rheumatologist, dermatologist, urologist, ophthalmologist, and cardiologist. It's a good idea to be familiar with a range of specialisms and understand what each one does, and build up a bank of useful language in your notebook. So how do you know which vocabulary will be useful for the exam? Let's have a look. On the left, you can see a list of vocabulary relating to obstetrics. However, these terms are less likely to appear in Listening A as they are not typically said by patients. Compare the vocabulary in the list on the right, which are much more likely to be said by the patient, and the information that you will need to fill the gaps. It's a good idea to keep a record of vocabulary and write example sentences in context like you would hear in Listening A. Let's take a look at some examples. Pregnancy. It's my first pregnancy and I felt okay so far. Fertility drugs. We had been trying for about a year, so they gave me some fertility drugs. Breech birth. I had a breech birth with my first son. Epidural. I've decided against the epidural for the birth. Caesarean. I had a caesarean last time and recovery was quite hard. Breastfeed. I want to breastfeed, so I'd just like information to feel prepared. Now your turn. Can you complete the sentences using the words from the box in the correct form? And here are the answers. They used forceps in the end to help get her out. It can increase chances of a miscarriage, so I don't know if I want the test. We are expecting a new addition to the family in September. I fell pregnant easily with my first two, but we've been trying for 6 months now. I know it's common to have stitches, but how long will healing take? When you complete OET practice papers, make sure you review language afterwards. For example, here we have an extract from a Listening A, which is a consultation with a gastroenterologist. Read through the notes first. Now listen.
So, Daniel, I have your notes here, but I'd like to hear your perspective. Could you start by telling me a bit about your condition, how it started, what treatment you've had, and anything else you feel I should know?
Yeah, well, I've been back and forth to the GP about this diarrhea. I've had it for about a month now. There's streaks of blood too, every time. I just have to go, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. It's gross. The other day was the worst. I went more than 15 times. So yeah, the GP's been trying to understand what's been going on, and I've been taking Imodium for it, which isn't helping much. But now I've got this pain in my belly. It's been about a week. It's a cramping pain, yeah? It comes in waves and it doesn't let up. It's low down on the left.
Okay, let's take a look at the answers. Now let's look at the transcript. What language can you find relating to gastroenterology? So we have diarrhea, streaks of blood, I just have to go, a cramping pain. There are many different ways you can approach learning vocabulary for the specialisms. One way would be to research common symptoms that each specialism would see. For example, neurologists see many patients who have headaches, chronic pain, dizziness, numbness or tingling, weakness, movement problems, seizures, vision problems, memory problems or confusion, and sleep problems. It can be helpful to write example sentences using the vocabulary as well as synonyms and any associated words. For example, I've been getting headaches more frequently for the past month or so, and they last longer too. They are splitting headaches and really incapacitating. Notice the collocation splitting headache, which is very common, and the description incapacitating. I've been feeling dizzy on and off for a couple of days now. I suppose that if I feel giddy, it happens more often when I wake up. I feel a bit lightheaded at times. Notice the synonyms of dizzy, giddy, and lightheaded. It started with some numbness, but now I have a tingling sensation too. Yes, I've had pins and needles much more often too. So synonyms of numbness being tingling sensation and pins and needles. Any of these words could very likely appear in a listening A or even a speaking test. Another approach is to find out what conditions the specialist sees commonly and build up a bank of vocabulary relating to these conditions. For example, an endocrinologist often sees patients with diabetes, thyroid diseases, infertility, growth issues, and metabolic disorders. If we take diabetes, we can then make a list of common symptoms. For example, increased thirst, frequent urination, increased hunger, unintended weight loss, fatigue, blurred vision, slow healing sores, frequent infections, and numbness or tingling in the hands or feet. Once you have a list of common symptoms for the condition, make sentences using patient speak or how patients might express it. For example, I just can't seem to quench my thirst and I'm drinking much more water than before, which also means that I'm going to the bathroom all the time. I'm hungry, what feels like all the time, and eating much more, but I have lost some weight. I don't know if I'm a bit run down, but I'm just so tired all the time. I haven't had my eyes checked in a while, but things seem a bit blurry at times. Okay, so let's recap some of the things you can do in your self-study time to help build your vocabulary. Brainstorm terms which are associated with the specialism and then write them in layman's terms. How would a patient say it? Use the official specialisms pages. This will help you with any research that you may need to do to build your vocabulary. Brainstorm and research symptoms and write them in context of how you might hear them in listening A. If you aren't sure, ask yourself, how would a patient say it? They are unlikely to use medical terms or vocabulary. And focus on one condition at a time. Move on to the next one when you're ready, but remember to review the work you have done previously on a regular basis. Top tips for medicine vocabulary. Break it down. It may seem overwhelming that there is too much to review or learn. Choose a few symptoms or a condition to work on. Layman's terms. This is the language you will hear in listening A and the information you will need to write in the question paper. So think about how the patient would say it. Symptoms. Focus on the symptoms that the specialism would most often see and how a patient would express it. So what vocabulary did you learn relating to medicine today? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our website. We've got the perfect OET preparation course for you. The link's below. And for more videos like this, click on the information icon at the top. See you next week. Bye! Did you... Glasses. I can't remember. It's a good idea to keep a record of vocabulary that might come up and write it in context sentences. It's a good idea to keep a record of vocabulary and write it in context sentences which might come up in the listening. Oh my God. Ugh. So there are different ways you can approach learning vocabulary for the specialisms. One way is to research common something. Another approach is to find out what conditions that specialist something. Top tips for medicine vocabulary in listening A. No, just top tips for medicine vocabulary. Top tips for medicine oh my God.